Once you have downloaded the installer zip, you can extract to anywhere you like. It is recommended to place it somewhere you can access later, as it also serves as an uninstaller and configurator. You will run the launch ERPulse installer.bat file. If prompted, be sure to click Run. Similarly, if you get a warning about an unknown publisher, make sure to click More Info, then Run anyway. We are working to get our installer signed to avoid this warning in the future. Note this installer must be ran as administrator, as it must access IIS sites and settings. You can see it checks for a few prerequisites here, such as administrator, IIS is installed, and the .NET 8 hosting bundle is installed. It will also show you current and available versions of your components, as well as a link to download latest installer, if you don't already have it.
Please note you have several options here: install new, update existing, reconfigure existing, and uninstall. Update existing will let you target specific updates. You would run this to update your existing installations. Reconfigure existing allows you to change some key settings of existing environments, notably API keys, auth settings, email settings, and license. The uninstaller allows you to remove components of this solution. Unless you want to keep the files, which is not recommended, be sure to check the Delete Physical Files from Disk option before uninstalling.
For the Install New, you have the option to select Helper or Controller. The controller is only installed one time on one machine, but it can be the same machine as one of your helpers. Note that if you install both at once, the URLs and API keys are automatically synced for them. Generally speaking, the default IIS settings for the controller are ideal. Also, the default IIS settings for a helper is ideal as well. But note that you must enter admin account credentials for the app pool of the helper, as it must manipulate IIS and Windows services. Be sure to hit the test button to ensure your provided credentials are good. For controller settings, the auth is a key setup. This is where you choose your auth type, one of the following: simple, username password combo, explicit login. Windows Auth can configure Windows users or AD groups for access. Hybrid supports both of the previous two options. For each type, you will need to click the ADD button to add a row to change. You can choose the role, which is the level of access for each one. Viewer is read only. Operator can control elements, like starting or stopping app pools or services. Admin can do everything, include change settings. Please note that the users you expect to access must be set up in your licensing to work.
Oops, we need to go back to look at some other features. We can set up our SMTP settings for email notifications here. You should get the proper settings from your IT department. You can also set up your global email addresses. These will receive all email alerts. Make sure to add them to the list. There are also some common alerts you can configure here, with many more in the controller itself. Don't forget, send a test email. Polling settings determine how often we pull fresh data from our helpers. Too slow, and we get delayed data; too fast, and we can bog down the system. On the helper settings, if installing with the controller, the URL will already be populated, as well as the API key, which will be obscured. On a standalone helper install, you will need to enter the proper URL to your controller, and either manually enter the correct API key or use the Pull from Controller button. Next, on the Task Agent connection settings, the first section, including hosts and ports, will remain unchanged. But you change the version range to match your expected versions to look for. Finally, we check for prerequisites. If any are missing, you can click to install them. Finally, you can review the settings and install. Note after installation, you can optionally browse to choose your license, which will automatically apply it. Note that licenses are only required for the controller, not the helpers. You can also open the controller right from the screen to check things out.
You should be installed and ready to start setting up your monitoring now. Please see the next video for initial configuration, and thanks for choosing ERPulse by Concepts.